So today we had the privilege of moderating a panel discussion with Novartis, Roche and SAP, talking about orchestration across the supply chain within the clinical world. I think it's really important because it's covering actually all aspects of those that are part of this conference. So we're talking not only about IT solutions, packaging solutions from our pharma companies, from IoT, so many different aspects comes across the whole orchestration of the supply chain itself.
I think having the open and honest conversation across the different entities of the entire end-to-end supply chain for clinical logistics is super important. So we keep the topic alive, and the collaboration across the different players and different partners will really be key for the future around data standardization, connectivity, and really bringing all the supply chain players together.
It's been really good. It's great to see that, first of all, to have a panel today with two of our largest pharmaceutical organizations present together is a great step forward. Their willingness to engage and talk. And I think that's part of what we're seeing at events like this, where there is that collaboration. There's so much more to be done. I think there is still a reluctance to want to work together. But I think as long as we do it in sort of small steps on certain non-conflicting, non-confidential areas, like on systems, like some of the challenges across the supply chain, I think we'll find a much better supply chain for clinical.
So the market is going more towards the specialized logistics environment and the specialized pharma. I would say advanced therapies, cell and gene, more frozen, deep frozen capabilities, and everything really being very data-driven, with innovation, digitalization being a key part of the entire supply chain. And without not saying about sustainability. So sustainability is overarching the entire sector, and life science and healthcare being one of the biggest CO2 emitters in the market. So really driving the sustainability agenda, it's key for the future in this industry, and logistics plays an important role in that. So DHL is the biggest logistic provider in the world. So we have a very extensive footprint for life science and healthcare solutions, not only for the supply chain side, but also DHL Express and DGF with the most comprehensive, I would say, warehousing and transportation capabilities. But it's not only about that, it's about leveraging our logistics experience to add value to the clinical supply chain. So we operate in 32 different locations across the globe for clinical logistics, and we leverage all of our commercial expertise to upgrade and really making all of this network ready for clinical logistics.
I think just to add to that, I think the important bit is that orchestration. And what DHL are doing is managing clinical from a global control perspective, and managing that through a global service center, giving full visibility and accountability for where shipments are, where studies are taking place, and to manage that seamlessly, whether it's in any of those 32 locations around the world, but managed from one point of control and one point of contact to our customer.
Without not saying that is one point of contract as well. So it's very a seamless experience to our customers.
It's been great. We're also at East Coast as well, so we've seen both the European version and the American version, and it's really good. It's great that everyone's in the same room with the same passion and desire about patient outcome, about the fact that we are looking at, what we're talking about here are trials that are changing the world, and the organizations and everybody around are trying to help to support that, and that's great.
That's the second time that we are sponsoring this conference. We attended also the CTS East Coast, and seeing the European version connected with temperature control is also quite important. I think these two areas, clinical supplies and temperature control, are very well connected, and we can really join efforts and drive the future over here. So we have great attendees, sponsors, suppliers, so it's been a great conference. I think the sustainability topics definitely very high in everyone's agenda. So we discussed it a lot about packaging solutions, reusable packaging, how do we orchestrate the returns of all of those processes across the network. And as Mark has already said, is orchestration, right? And how do we drive the data and the integration across a fully integrated network through orchestration and digitalization. So I think those topics were very high and quite important in every session that we had, actually. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'll just add the other one is around insights. I think everyone's finding something out about what others are doing, and that's powerful, and it's really helping everybody. The questions are usually about people being, I guess, just inquisitive about, well, how are you doing that? How can I help by knowing that? And that's good to see.
DHL has been investing tremendously really to grow in life science and healthcare, keeping our leadership position in that market. So we know what is coming in terms of specialty pharma, the requirements that those new segments are really requiring from the industry, and leveraging all this logistics expertise overarched by the orchestration templates. It's really key, and we are the front runners, I would say, in that technology, really bringing this logistics expertise and all the investment that DHL does in terms of accelerated digitalization through the clinical world and through the specialty pharma world. So it's pretty key.